Welcome to the inaugural episode of 1K to 1 million, where I turn 1,000 coins into 1 million or more this year just by flipping cards and playing the auction house, playing the market. Starting off, there's something wrong here. I have more than 1,000 coins because I've been playing the game. So I figured, I'm just gonna buy a gold pack and waste my coins. Oh crap, what? Yossi? That's my best pull! And I was just freaking trying to get rid of my coins. All those other packs had nothing in them. So that felt pretty good. And then I realized I still have 5,647 coins. So I'm just going to make someone happy by bidding 4,647 on that Hoffman. So now I have 1,000 coins. This year they made earning coins starting out kind of easy based on these hut solo challenges. You could get hundreds of thousands of coins just by completing these. You can also do competitive seasons and get free packs like I mentioned in my guide to starting off in hut. But in the interest of fairness, we're going in with 1,000 coins. What I did to start out was I searched for gold rare cards under 500 and I just kept spamming the A button until I found a card. And that first card, my first transaction, is Tyler Bozak for 500. The next thing I did was I look up other Tyler Bozaks to see what is the price that he goes for. The reason I chose 500 was because that's his quick sell price. You cannot possibly get any less for him unless you just want to give him away, I guess. So I find out he goes for like 800, so I sell him for a little bit less to just get this minor profit, but it's enough to get me started. This is very slow and tedious in the beginning just because you don't have a lot of coins to work with and you're very limited. So playing the auction house, playing the market, it sounds scary, but it's not that bad. Anyone can do it, and all it takes is memorizing some prices like I do here. We just saw that Bozak goes for more than this. I was just setting up my little system that I'm about to explain, but I see this Bozak, so I figured I'm gonna jump on it. Now you can either memorize these prices or you can write them down. Just know prices will change day to day, week to week, and it's usually when special cards or special packs come out. At first, you can take things kind of slow. You don't have to rush to buy a card. As I do with this Tyler Myers, instead of just outright buying him, I look up the price of his card and see what he's supposed to be going for. And I notice, well, I could probably sell him for twice the price. Now in this series, I'm going to be recording all of my transactions, whether they're successful or they're a failure, so that you guys can have a stacked team yourselves without spending any real money. Each episode, I'm going to provide kind of a different focus. But in this episode, we're talking about the early market tactics. The game has just been released, so we need to figure out what we should be doing with our coins. Throughout this entire video, I'm going to be showing you guys one of my least favorite methods of making coins, but it's the method that everyone does. And just because it's my least favorite doesn't mean I'm not successful with it, as you will see by the end of the video. So this is called the 59-minute method. I'm sitting at the 59-minute, 59-second mark where new cards are always being pumped out because a lot of people put up their cards for a 1-hour duration. The goal here is to find people who either mistakenly price their card, they forget a digit, or they just don't know the price of a card, so it's very undervalued. An interesting card I'm not sure about, I just look up that card to see similar prices. Like I do in this case with Clef Bomb, and I realize I can make a profit off of him. The idea is buy low, sell high. It sounds simple, and the truth is, it actually is. If you don't feel comfortable buying a card, then you don't have to. Pretend like you bought it instead, and then look up the price of the card to see if you would have made a profit. In doing so, you'll also know the price of the card. At this time, you want to be flipping 85s and 86s at the start of the year, because they at least have some kind of value to them. 84 overall cards are kind of like quick sell cards. I happen to snag these ones fairly early, so I could sell them a little bit higher. Only select 84 overall cards will go for more because they happen to be the stronger players, such as Matt Duchene, who is really fast and has really good face-off skills. So I found this kind of interesting. If you hang around the active auction screen because you don't have any coins or anything, in my case, I went to take a shower, I came back, and it said I had no auctions available, which means that it does refresh occasionally to tell you when your cards have sold. It didn't do that last year, at least not that I remember, but it does it this year, so that's nice. But this auction house could definitely use some improvements, hopefully for next year, because it's just more of the same. So you may have noticed that I'm pushing up on the right stick to search for some deals. The reason that I'm doing that is because I'm able to know which cards I've already seen. When I'm flipping between pages and tabs with the left bumper, right bumper, L1 or R1, new cards will show up without synergies. And those are the cards that you have to be looking out for. We just talked about Matt Duchene, so let me just show him to you guys, because I just got into a situation where I could have bought Matt Duchene, but I didn't, because I didn't know what he went for, and then I look him up and he ends up going for a lot higher. Just keep in mind, the prices on my screen aren't the current prices. And on top of that, this is on the Xbox as well. So I had a chance to buy O'Reilly, but I didn't. Here I have a chance to buy Skinner, but I don't. And this shows you how the little synergy trick is working out. As soon as I switch tabs, I go to the furthest card to the right whose synergies aren't being shown. The card furthest to the bottom right is the most recent card that has been posted up, which means that you are probably one of the few people who has seen it, because someone else flipping through these tabs may be focused on a group of cards right before them. I also want to let you guys know that you don't need to spend a whole lot of time on the auction house to make coins. You only need to spend about 15 minutes a day buying cards. You might have to research and take some time a little bit beforehand just to figure out the prices, but once you do that, you'll be fine. Now, when it comes to selling cards, unless you're going to sleep, you should always put it down for 1 hour. Again, that's where most of the activity is. That's where your card will get the most exposure. People don't want to look through thousands of cards to find what they're looking for, so they'll probably pay a premium or just extra money just to get your card because it's at the front. And those are the people that don't really care how much money they spend, and that's actually like most of the community. So we have to take advantage of them. And then when you're going to sleep, then just put them up for as long as you'll be asleep. So here I'm going to talk about a different method outside of the 59-minute method. It's where you're looking at all of the cards in your price range. I set the buy now to a maximum of how much coins that I have, and I start to sort them by team. This way there are less cards on your screen, and you can easily compare the prices of a card by player. You can even take it a step further and sort it by position or player type, synergy, stuff like that. Here I miss out on a Kessel, one of the best 85 overall cards that you could get. He went for a lot more than that buy now price, let me tell you. I also want to let you guys know that there is a tax in this game, but EA happens to tell you that this year, which is just so nice of them. Which, if you struggle with math, you just multiply the cost of the card by 5 and then get rid of the last digit. Here's something interesting happened. That stone I just bought isn't here anymore. It just vanished. And it's just another problem with this year's auction house, or I guess every year's auction house. So instead I put up a Hoffman for about the same price that I was going to sell the stone for. But I did want to let you guys know that when I restarted my Xbox, that card did actually show up in my collection. 86 overall Kuznetsov, that's also a very expensive card, and I missed out on it. So like in the real world, you don't want to invest all of your coins into one card. You want to have some more flexibility, and you don't want to wait forever on getting your coins back in case that card isn't selling. Remember that prices of every card will go down over time unless it's one of those super expensive or super rare cards. Here I acted super quick to get this Barkov 86 overall. He goes for about like 4K, so that's pretty nice. The only reason the prices of cards could go up for some of these cheaper cards is because EA released some kind of set that allows you to trade them in, which could very much be possible, just like they did last year. Now, the best time to buy cards is when people are ripping open packs. That is when special cards come out, special packs come out, there's some kind of discount, new players show up, and the best time to sell your cards is before that when there is nothing going on. So you can essentially buy back your whole team for a cheaper price and get all of those coins. The difference between what you sold your team for and what you bought it back for. Or you can upgrade from there. I don't know. It's your choice. So now let's talk about the different things that you can focus on this early in the year. You can focus on coaches because people want 3 synergy points to either silky smooth or thread the needle. Players with those synergies for the same reason. Collectibles because they're required for sets. Low overall cards that are highly desirable, such as Chara. The new Centennial cards or the cards required to make Hut Heroes. There's some other ones, but that's a good start. Here, a funny thing happens to me. I got so excited that I bought this Barkov that it turns out it's a Huberdeau. Just like last year, I just mixed up 2 white guys that look the same. And here I catch my mistake, like, wait a second, what am I doing? Let's take this a step further and compare the 2. They look the same, don't they? Well, unless you were paying attention or you're a Florida Panthers fan, you probably didn't notice that I changed their names. Well, let me tell you, it was much worse when you're looking at a smaller version of their card. Another thing that you can do when you're flipping cards is look for someone or something that shouldn't be here. And in this case, it's Blake Wheeler, because when you're at this for like 2 hours, you don't see his card at all, and then all of a sudden he shows up, you know that you just bought him for a deal. Turns out it wasn't a huge deal, but as I'm looking through other Blake Wheelers, I find another Blake Wheeler that's going for even less, so I figured might as well pick him up as well, and then sell both of the cards for the new price. So that's pretty much what you're going to see out of this series. I'm going to help you guys as much as possible so that you can play the market yourselves and make coins. I'm going to show you guys new ways of playing the market as I discover them. See what's hot, see what's not, and maybe even next week I'll show you guys the going rate for cards during that week. I didn't want to do it this week because the prices are a little too jumpy, but hopefully they'll settle sometime next week. So if you guys want more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything, because I love helping you guys out. And then since you stayed around in my video for this long, I'm going to reward you guys with my most successful method in this early game, and that's looking at bronze and silver goalies such as Jeremy Smith, who has 2 points in Silky Smooth. Someone's selling him for 500, and you know how I'm gonna put him up for not 15k. I changed my mind. It's gonna be 20k, and I think he's worth even more than that. I was just kind of testing the waters to see if someone would buy him, and they actually did. So be on the lookout for these silver goalies with 2 points in S or 2 points in Thread the Needle. And the bronze ones, if you can find that as well, 2 points in those synergies, and then an extra synergy, they're worth even more. We end the day off with 33,000 coins. I think maybe 1,000 of those coins were from games because I played them. Not really sure if I want to include them in the series or not. I think I'm just going to spend them, and we'll just pretend like, you know, I never got those coins for the series. Maybe I'll add them back in later when it doesn't make a difference. Anyway, here are all the cards that we sold. It was only about 2.5 hours of recording and doing all of this. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.